Hi there, this Joan Seed in the house. I want to show you another one of the herbs that I've harvested myself and dried, and I keep in the medicine cabinet for my medicine herbs. This here is ground up purple loosestrife. Now, if you know what purple loosestrife is, a purple flower, it just grows everywhere. It just takes over everything. Along the marshes and along the road edges, you can find it. If it's a damp area, they love it. Now, this here, I want to tell you what all the benefits of purple loosestrife has. As a tea, it is good for diarrhea, intestinal problems, and bacterial infection. Now, I've got that label there, so I will know. And also, you can make a salve and have for swollen varicose veins, and then also for hemorrhoid problems, and if you got emphysema. And then it also talks about it's good for bleeding gums. So you may want to turn around and make it into like a little damp poultry like thing. Take it, dampen it down, and then put it on, just like doing a tea bag. That's what it's like. It's like doing a tea bag, but you're putting that piece on there. If you know anybody dips, you ever dip, you know how it is where you put some dip right there. But that's basically what you're doing with this. You're putting this right on there. So the thing is, it was not a native species. It was brought over here from another country. And right off the bat, I cannot remember which country brought it. That's what's happened to most of our plants. Most of these plants that's over here now are from another country. It was brought over with immigrants and stuff that passed settlers and things. Same thing with dandelions and stuff. It just amazed me over the last few years. People want to eat dandelion leaves, where before they thought of it just as a weed. Same way with sweet potatoes. Everybody's having fit over sweet potato fries. Well, my goodness, I growed up on it. Same way with powdered milk. They grind the milk, they had it so they could have it during the hard times and stuff. And that was poor people's drinking. And now it's considered gourmet food. So, a lot of things that you just assume here that it's a weed, just like this. This is purple loosestrife that I have dried and ground up. As you can see here, I got quite a bit of it. Now, I'm going to have to change jars because this here lid just ain't good enough. And I did just spill some of it. So, and I will harvest more this year. To have this on hand. This here is in my prepper medicine cabinet. This here is in my medicine cabinet, my herbal medicine cabinet, in the event of a situation that I have to have something like this here to help in any situation, whether it's hemorrhoids or whether it's just, the fact is that, I got the bathroom itis syndrome, and I have, a lot of us tend to have that, especially as we get older. So this here is something other intestinal problems, bacteria problems, things like that. This here is something you want to use. It's great for swollen ankles, varicose veins. You just make your salve up. Again, it's like I told you, when you make your salve, if you want to make it stronger, when you do the first batch of it, you drain it, and then you turn around, take the oil there with the salve that's in it, and then add more into it and fish you another batch. And if you can make it triple strength or 4 times strong, however strong you want to make it. The stronger you make it, the more of a potency it would have for it. So you know what? I could take some of this here and heat me some oil up and put some of that in there and let it, heat up and stuff. And it would take about an hour to do a double boiler technique really good. Let it cool down. Let it set for about 24 hours. Drain it, and then turn around and take the oil and add some more in there and let it again do it. Now, you don't have to do it in the grind up stage. You can actually grind the stalks and the leaves and everything and not grind up. The stalks is useful too on this here. You can grind all of that up. Now, I just mainly got the flower. The flowers is mainly what I got. And the flowers are real long flowers, so you can, like I say, you can just grind the flowers the way it is. And then just put them in there if you want to do that, and harvest them while they're fresh and do it. However you choose to make your salve. But having this on hand as a tea is going to help. That's what they talk about in situations and crises and stuff, that people get sick and stuff. A lot of it is because they don't have no medications. They're run out or whatever. They have no knowledge of what around them they can use to survive, or they don't even have it in their medical cabinets. So, fixing you up a waterproof container, and that's on my wish list. A small waterproof container with my herbs and things in, and label each one of them to have in case something happens where you have a flood or whatever, you just cannot get out. This can make a lot of difference. So again, purple loosestrife, it grows everywhere. It's that long purple flower. It's a beautiful flower. You find it along like damp areas, creeks, ditch areas and stuff. Then again, you make your tea. It's good for diarrhea, intestinal bacteria, and intestinal problems and bacteria infections. You can make a salve where you can use it for swollen varicose veins, hemorrhoids. You can use it for your emphysema to rub on it. And for the bleeding gums, you can just take some of this here, just dampen it down, and put it in there like a water dip in your mouth, and let it soak on that area where it's bleeding to help with it. And you can actually turn around and make the tea as a good overall mouthwash to help with your bleeding gums too. If you're going to do that for your bleeding gums, you want to make it as a tea basis. I recommend that you make it double strain or even triple strain to use it as a very strong mouthwash to wash your gums out with, and do it, 2 or 3 times a day, whatever you need to do with that is what I would recommend for it. Now, again, I'm not a doctor. I'm a student just like everybody else, but Mother Nature has provided for our kinfolks in the past for centuries. So pick out 5 plants. That's my challenge to all of y'all. Pick out 5 and learn what 5 you need to put in your herbal medicine cabinet in a crisis situation or even an everyday situation. Maybe you're just tired of all the meds that you're taking, and or whatever, you want to try something different. Now, you might want to check with your doctor on it. You might have reactions to it, just like anything, like any kind of medication. You can overdo it, so you got to be careful. Be responsible and keep learning. Keep learning and share your ideas and your thoughts with people on what you learned about some people. Now, not everybody's going to listen to it, but I'm going to tell you what, it's worth learning something new every day. We're never too old. Old dogs can learn new tricks. I learn something new all the time. So again, like I said, I was using purple loosestrife this year. You can grind it up for tea, or you can just grind the flowers and let them dry and leave them as a whole thing to make your salves with if you want to. This here, like I say, you like, well, that's a lot, but I want to tell you what, I had this much of flowers that I grind on these huge trays that I found at a secondhand store. So keep this in your medicine cabinet. Think about it. This year, when you see the purple loosestrife, start harvesting your some and grind. You don't have to have a huge amount. You can start out small, whatever. If you have problems with any of this, intestinal problems is like ulcers, upset stomach, whatever. If you have problems with some of this stuff, you just, your gums are bleeding, whatever, and you have problems with, your hemorrhoids, you might want to check into this. The cost on meds and everything is unreal. So going natural with some of this stuff is worth a try. But again, like I said, I'm not a doctor, and check with your doctor before you do some of this. Some of them believes in it, some of them don't. So this here is Joan seed. I'm in the house showing you another one of my herbs I keep in my prepper herb cabinets. And check out my World of Joan on Facebook, on my how to do stuff and everything. And then check out some of my other stuff on how to do's and some of my subjects about prepping and different things. So be safe, be happy. Bless you all.